Before anything else, if this message speaks to you at any moment, make sure you like, share, comment, and if you feel led, you can use super thanks. Even $20 helps this message reach more people who need it. Now listen closely, because everything I'm about to say is flowing straight to the place inside you that has been waiting for clarity, warning, and confirmation. My child, pause whatever is pulling your attention right now and let these words settle inside you like breath returning to tired lungs. This is not just another video. This is not just another moment in your day. This is a divine interruption tailored only for you. You didn't find this message by searching, scrolling, or guessing. This message found you. Heaven set this moment aside and marked your name on it because next week carries a shift so enormous, so life-altering, that nothing in your life will remain the same afterward. And you need to hear this with your full heart open. My child, you have walked through seasons where you felt unseen. You've gone through days where you felt your prayers were hitting a ceiling, weeks where your effort seemed unnoticed, and moments where your heart whispered, God, do you still see me? And here I am answering you, not tomorrow, not next month, not in a dream, but right now, because something in the spiritual realm is drawing closer, pressing toward your life with a force that cannot be ignored anymore. Next week, the ground beneath your life is going to shift. You may not feel the tremors yet, but heaven feels them, and heaven is preparing you. The reason this message reached you is because God refuses to let you walk into next week unprepared. There is too much at stake, too much being built, too much being aligned, too much being exposed. You are standing on the edge of a breakthrough that has been delayed, resisted, attacked, and sabotaged by people you trusted and forces you never saw. But none of that is stronger than the hand of God pushing you forward. Listen, my child. There are people you loved, people you defended, people you believed in, who have been speaking poison about you behind closed doors. They smile in your face but gather in secret with hearts that carry jealousy, anger, and resentment. And heaven has watched every whisper. Heaven has witnessed every scheme woven in the shadows. Some of these individuals pretend to care about you, but the truth is their hearts cannot stand the light on your life. And because you continued rising, because you kept growing, because you refused to return to who you used to be, something in them turned against you. Their intentions are no longer harmless. Their words are no longer petty. What they are plotting now is dangerous. This is why heaven sent this message today. Because the next 7 days carry movements, both heavenly and earthly, that affect you directly. My child, someone has been working overtime to twist your name, distort your actions, and tarnish your character. They are feeding lies into the ears of someone who once trusted you. They are hoping to put blame on you for things you never did, never said, never even thought. They are trying to build a false picture of you, expecting that others will believe them without questioning. There are conversations happening right now where your name is being brought up in ways you would never imagine. And while you live your life with honesty, peace, and pure intentions, someone else is attempting to attach darkness to your reputation. But God says, listen carefully. I will expose every lie before it reaches the place they want it to reach. I will shut the mouths prepared to accuse you. I will twist the plans they designed for your downfall and use them to elevate you instead. But my child, hear this part with seriousness. The threat against you now is not just emotional or social, it is legal. Someone is trying to fabricate a situation that could put you in trouble. They want you blamed, cornered, or shamed. They want to paint you as guilty in a story where you are completely innocent. They think they are clever. They think no one knows. They think their plan is sealed. But heaven laughs at their confidence. Because before their idea was even fully formed, God already began dismantling it. Before they took their first step, God had already decided their plot would collapse. Before they even whispered your name in darkness, God had already surrounded you with light. My child, let me show you something deeply spiritual. Every time the enemy rises against a chosen one, heaven increases angelic activity around that person. And right now, angels are circling you with urgency. They are guarding conversations, blocking decisions, diverting actions, and confusing the enemy's strategies. There are things that should have already reached you, bad news, accusations, problems, but heaven intercepted them before they arrived. God's hand has been covering you even while you slept. Even while you cried. Even on the days you doubted yourself. But now, what's coming next week is much bigger than what you've seen. Heaven isn't just protecting you, heaven is repositioning you. My child, let your mind go back to the story of Daniel, not as a distant Bible tale, but as a prophetic parallel to what's happening in your life right now. Daniel was innocent. He was faithful. He was favored. And because of that favor, people who felt threatened by his purpose created laws, twisted truth, and set traps they believed he could never escape. They wanted Daniel gone. Silenced. Removed. They wanted his influence destroyed. And they thought they succeeded when he was thrown into the lion's den. They thought the story was over. But what they didn't know was that heaven had already stepped in behind the scenes. Before Daniel entered the den, the lions had already been silenced by God. Before the trap was activated, the victory was already decided. Before the plot was finished, God had already prepared the reversal. My child, you are walking into your own version of this story. But the ending has already been written in your favor. The mouths ready to devour you will be shut. The trap set for you will remain empty. The false evidence will turn into exposure of the enemy's lies. And when the time is right, heaven will display the truth so obviously that even those who doubted you will be forced to acknowledge God's hand over your life. But understand this, your trust is the key. Your faith is the access. Your posture determines the outcome. God is asking you, will you trust me through this? Will you let me defend you? Will you let me guide you without panic? Because if you stay calm, listen, and follow my instructions, the entire confrontation they wanted to bring to your doorstep will collapse before it reaches you. What was meant to shame you will instead promote you. What was meant to break you will instead strengthen you. What was meant to expose you will actually expose them. My child, you are rising. Your purpose is unfolding. Your energy is changing. Your discipline is increasing. You are becoming the version of yourself that heaven always saw. You have been breaking old patterns, shedding old habits, releasing old cycles, and becoming more aligned with the future God designed for you. And because of this growth, the enemy senses a shift. The enemy sees momentum. The enemy feels you slipping out of every trap that once worked on you. And that is why this attack suddenly appeared. Not because you're weak. Not because you're lost. But because you are too close to breakthrough for the enemy to stay silent. My beloved child, the next week will uncover truths you didn't expect. It will reveal things that were hidden. It will expose false alliances. It will shake loose people who were never meant to stay. But it will also unlock blessings that have been stored away for you. Blessings that required this exposure. Blessings that required this shift. Blessings that required this moment. And now, heaven is asking you to prepare your heart, not with fear, but with expectation. Something powerful is approaching your life. Something has been dispatched. Something carrying your name is coming. And what I'm about to reveal next is crucial for your protection and your breakthrough. My child, breathe deeply for a moment, because what I'm about to reveal now reaches into the very center of what is happening around you. The spiritual activity surrounding your life right now is not ordinary. It is not casual. It is not random. Something has been set in motion over your destiny, and heaven is pushing you into a position you could not reach on your own. The shifts that are coming next week are not punishments, not accidents, not coincidences. These shifts are divine corrections, divine exposures, divine rearrangements that must happen for your life to move into the place heaven has prepared. You've been walking through a season where the ground beneath you felt unstable. You've sensed things moving, changing, shaking, even though nothing in the natural world explained it. You didn't understand why certain people suddenly acted distant. You didn't understand why your spirit felt heavy on some mornings. You didn't understand why conversations felt off, why certain friendships felt different, why your intuition kept whispering warnings you couldn't interpret. But heaven is confirming it now. Your spirit sensed the warfare long before your mind understood it. And that is because you are spiritually sensitive, spiritually chosen, spiritually marked for purpose. My child, let me show you the truth behind the heaviness you felt. The enemy has been studying you quietly, watching your progress, observing your growth, sensing your breakthrough drawing closer. The enemy saw that the cycles you used to fall into no longer have power over you. The enemy saw that the emotional traps that once held you are losing their grip. The enemy saw that your heart is healing, your mind is strengthening, your focus is sharpening, and your faith is returning. And when a chosen one begins to heal, hell becomes nervous. Darkness becomes unsettled. Because your healing threatens everything the enemy built against you. This is why the attack rose again out of nowhere. This is why old enemies suddenly resurfaced. This is why old patterns attempted to return. This is why jealousy in certain people grew louder. It wasn't random. It wasn't personal. It was spiritual. It was because the enemy felt the shift that heaven scheduled for you for next week. Your breakthrough created a vibration in the spiritual realm long before it manifests in your physical life. Heaven began preparing the blessing, and the enemy tried to block it. The plot forming behind your back is simply the enemy's last attempt to discourage you before the promise unfolds. But listen carefully, my child, because this part is crucial. The enemy didn't rise because you're weak. The enemy rose because you're powerful. Evil never fights what doesn't threaten it. Darkness never attacks what isn't valuable. And you, your spirit, your calling, your destiny, carry a value in the spiritual realm that you do not yet realize. The enemy attacked because you're about to step into a version of yourself that will ruin every strategy hell tried to place on your life. What's coming next week is not just change, it is spiritual elevation. My child, I'm about to reveal what heaven is preparing for you next week. But before I do, you must understand the state of the people plotting against you. Their jealousy has grown into obsession. Their insecurity has turned into bitterness. They thought you would stay beneath them forever. They thought you would always second-guess yourself. They thought you would never rise, never learn, never grow, never heal. But when you began to elevate, their hearts shifted. You didn't betray them. You didn't harm them. You didn't dishonor them. You simply outgrew the version of yourself that made them comfortable. And your growth exposed their envy. These individuals have been watching your moves more closely than you know. They monitor your social media. They ask about you behind your back. They laugh at your progress but secretly fear it. They pretend they don't care, yet they talk about you more than anyone else. They claim to know you, but the truth is, they only know the old you. And because the new you intimidates them, they have begun spreading stories to tarnish your name. They are exaggerating your flaws, twisting your past, and misrepresenting your character. But here is the part they don't know. Heaven has been documenting everything. Every lie. Every insult. Every attempt to harm your reputation. Every thought they whispered in jealousy. Not one detail has escaped heaven's eyes. And next week, heaven will step into the situation directly. My child, someone has been trying to involve your name in something that could damage your future. They think if they can't touch your blessing, they can stain your name. They think if they can't stop your elevation, they can slow it down with drama, rumors, or false accusations. Their plan is not small. They want something big to fall onto your shoulders. Something that would have people questioning you, doubting you, distancing from you. They want to stain your credibility, your character, your innocence. But let me tell you the truth of heaven, they are not fighting you, they are fighting God's assignment over you. And no one has ever won that battle. Not in Scripture. Not in history. Not in your life. My child, before the plot even started, heaven began undoing it. Before the enemy whispered your name to the wrong person, angels were already blocking the impact. Before anyone could speak against you, God was releasing confusion into their conversations. Someone they tried to recruit into their scheme is already beginning to doubt them. Someone they convinced to mistrust you is starting to reconsider. Someone who was ready to believe the lies is now feeling uneasy, unsure, and spiritually unsettled. This is not coincidence, this is divine interference. And now listen carefully, because what I'm about to say is extremely important for next week. Heaven is preparing a moment of exposure that will reveal the truth. Something that was done in the dark will come into the light. A conversation said behind your back will reach your ears. A motive hidden behind a smile will be exposed. A person pretending to support you will reveal their true intentions through their actions. This exposure is not meant to hurt you, it is meant to free you. Because the people being removed from your life cannot accompany you into the blessings coming next week. Their hearts are not aligned. Their spirits are not clean. Their intentions are not pure. Removing them now protects you later. My child, you have been praying for change. You have been praying for guidance, direction, clarity, breakthrough. You asked heaven to show you who is real and who is pretending. You asked heaven to reveal who is for you and who is against you. You asked for a sign, and this message is part of that answer. But the full answer will come next week, through events that expose truth and align your life with divine order. Now let me show you something powerful. The reason you survived every attack before this moment is because heaven still needs you. The reason the traps of your past didn't destroy you is because heaven has plans for you that cannot be erased. Do you know how many times someone tried to speak against you and heaven silenced their voice? How many times someone wished for your downfall and heaven redirected the attack? How many times danger was approaching you but angels intervened before it reached you? You don't know, because heaven shielded you before you even saw the threat. My child, the same protection that rescued you before is about to rescue you again, but this time, not silently. This time, heaven will make the protection visible. This time, the rescue will be public. This time, the ones who doubted you will have no choice but to say, God was with them. Heaven is about to demonstrate something that will shift the atmosphere around your name. Next week, something will break open. Something will be finalized. Something will turn in your favor. Something that was stuck will move. Something that was hidden will appear. Something that was delayed will be released. Something that was taken will be restored. Something that was unfair will be corrected. Something that was spoken against you will backfire. But for this to unfold, your heart must remain steady. Listen to me, do not panic. Do not fear. Do not respond emotionally. Do not chase explanations. Do not confront people out of anger. Heaven will handle what your voice cannot. My child, settle your spirit and listen closely now, because what I am about to speak over you is not just revelation. This is instruction, this is preparation, this is activation. Heaven is not only informing you of what is coming, heaven is equipping you for it. This final part carries weight, carries clarity, carries breakthrough power, and if you receive it with an open heart, the next week of your life will not unfold like an ordinary week. It will unfold like a divine appointment written long before your birth. You have been walking with questions inside you. Questions about your purpose, your relationships, your finances, your stability, your future. You've been carrying moments of doubt, wondering why certain things have taken so long, why certain prayers have not yet manifested, why certain doors seem to remain shut even though you kept knocking with faith and obedience. And heaven says to you now, it is not because I denied you. It is because I was preparing you. Everything that felt delayed was actually being aligned. Every closed door was protecting you from a trap you could not yet see. Every silence was storing blessings you were not ready to hold. And every waiting season was strengthening the foundation inside you so you could carry what is coming without losing yourself in the process. Your life is not behind schedule. It is right on time, heaven's time. My child, next week is a divine pivot. It is a turning point written into your destiny. It is not random that this message reached you right before it. Heaven never warns without purpose. Heaven never reveals without intention. Something is being set in motion, something irreversible, something undeniable, something that will make you look back and say, this was the week everything changed. Let me show you the first major shift approaching your life. Your name is being cleared in the spiritual realm. Before God changes anything in your physical world, He adjusts it in the unseen world. And right now, angels are rewriting narratives spoken against you. They are erasing accusations. They are dissolving false judgments. They are breaking agreements formed in darkness. They are canceling assignments that were designed to confuse you, stop you, or limit you. Your name is being washed clean in the places you cannot see, and soon that cleansing will manifest in the physical world. There is someone who has been carrying negative words about you. Someone who tried to paint you as unreliable, irresponsible, unstable, dramatic, or dangerous. Someone who used your past against you, forgetting that you are no longer that person. Someone who misunderstood your silence and twisted your loyalty. Someone who mistook your kindness for weakness. Someone who underestimated the strength in your spirit. They thought they could destroy your reputation, but they didn't know heaven was recording their lies. And next week, the truth that was hidden will begin surfacing in unexpected ways. You will hear things that confirm what your intuition already knew. The masks people wore will begin to slip. A conversation you were never meant to hear will find its way to you. And when it does, it will not break you, it will free you. My child, this exposure is not a punishment. It is a divine cleansing. Heaven is removing the dust others tried to throw on your name. Heaven is shaking off the labels people placed on you out of jealousy. Heaven is removing the weight of words spoken against you by people who never even knew your heart. Exposure is coming, not to embarrass you, but to elevate you. The second shift coming next week is this: a door that was shut will suddenly open. This door has been waiting for the right moment. You prayed for it. You cried for it. You wondered why it remained closed when you were doing everything right. But heaven says, I kept that door shut until you outgrew the version of yourself that would have misused it. Now you are ready. Now you are mature enough. Now your discernment is sharp. Now your humility is steady. Now your spirit is aligned. The moment you walk through this door, something long overdue will begin moving in your life: work opportunities, financial increase, emotional stability, or relational clarity. Something will click into place so smoothly, so perfectly, that you will know it was heaven's timing, not human decision. The third shift approaching is this: a divine separation. Someone who has been draining your energy, confusing your emotions, or blocking your peace will be removed from your path. Do not resist it. Do not chase after them. Do not try to fix what heaven is ending. This separation is protection. You may not fully understand it now, but next week something will happen that makes the truth undeniable: they were not meant to stay. They were meant to be part of your story, but not your destiny. And when heaven removes someone, it is always because their presence cannot exist in the same space as your blessing. The fourth shift is this: acceleration. Something in your life that has been slow, painfully slow, will suddenly move. It may be a financial area, a work situation, a project, a decision you've been waiting on, or even your own inner healing. But heaven says, the delay has expired. The stagnation has been broken. Next week, movement will begin. Not small movement, major movement. You will see signs, confirmations, messages, opportunities, and unexpected shifts that prove acceleration has begun. You will not have to force it. You will not have to beg for it. You will not have to chase it. Heaven will push it toward you. Now let me reveal the fifth shift: divine protection will show itself publicly. Until now, God has protected you privately. Danger passed by you without you knowing. Hurtful actions were blocked before they reached you. People who meant harm were stopped without your awareness. But next week, there will be a moment where God's hand becomes visible. You will see how He steps into a situation you could not control. You will watch something that was supposed to go wrong suddenly turn in your favor. Someone who meant to harm you will slip, falter, or reveal their intentions accidentally. A plan meant to trap you will collapse. A lie meant to damage you will be exposed. This will not be subtle. This will not be symbolic. This will be obvious, undeniable, and unforgettable. You will know instantly that heaven intervened. Now, my child, listen to the deepest revelation of all. The enemy's final tactic before breakthrough is always chaos. That is why you felt spiritually attacked recently. That is why your emotions felt heavier. That is why your sleep was interrupted. That is why old wounds resurfaced. That is why random sadness or anxiety appeared out of nowhere. It was the enemy's last attempt to shake your faith just before heaven releases what belongs to you. Chaos always comes right before clarity. Pressure always comes right before promotion. Darkness always attacks right before light breaks through. So do not be afraid of the shaking you feel. It is a sign that heaven is close. It is a sign that the shift has begun. It is a sign that your life is about to enter a new chapter. You are not losing control, God is taking control. You are not falling apart, God is rearranging the pieces. You are not being abandoned, God is defending you behind the scenes. And when next week arrives, you will see why everything happened the way it did. My child, lift your head. Put your shoulders back. You are favored. You are protected. You are chosen. You are covered. You are rising. You are stepping into a week that will rewrite your story, silence your enemies, restore your strength, expose what needs to be seen, and elevate you to a level that was always meant for you. The final thing heaven wants you to know is this: you must stay calm, stay grounded, and stay in alignment. Do not react with fear. Do not let old emotions return. Do not entertain the voices of the past. Do not allow anyone to provoke you into stepping out of your spiritual covering. Respond with peace. Move with wisdom. Speak with clarity. Protect your energy. Trust your intuition. And remember, the enemy cannot touch a person who refuses to leave God's hands. Next week, expect revelation. Expect confirmation. Expect clarity. Expect justice. Expect opportunity. Expect closure. Expect breakthrough. Expect protection. Expect realignment. Expect divine movement. Expect something that makes you say, God, I see your hand. You are walking into a destiny moment, my child. And heaven is walking with you. If you are ready for next week's breakthrough, if you receive this message, comment, I am ready.